The headphones you're looking at will cost you somewhere between $1,200 and $1,500 depending where you get them. Expensive ones, these Audeze LCD-XC revision 2021s, because that is what I will be talking about in this video. If you have this amount of money burning in your pocket, why would you get this exact model? It has to be the sound of highest tier headphones like this Audeze LCD-XC and the fact that this model is closed back. My first impression when I used these headphones when I got them is that these gave an audiophile experience, a quite luxurious sound. I have to be careful not to sound like an audiophile nutty, but these headphones really bring out transients, reverb tails and depth better than any headphone I ever used. I can really distinguish individual instruments better with these headphones than the models I have. The LCD-XCs have very low distortion by themselves, basically none. Because of that, they really will let you hear if there is any distortion happening in your mix or master. And I do not mean intended distortion, but unintended, like clipping audio. When listening to Spotify, it was remarkable how these headphones reveal a low bitrate aliasing on certain tracks, which wasn't ever as evident for me with any other headphone model I used before. I do find that music which sounds already somewhat bass-light sounds even thinner. This all has to do with the frequency response. The LCD-XCs are mid to high frequency forward sounding headphones. This might sound like they lack bass, but in actual response, the headphones go really deep, well into the sub-lows. It's only that the low-end presence is somewhat lacking. If you look at this graph from the Audio Science review forums, you see that clearly. That forum post is linked in the description here below. It's a good read. This response needed some getting used to from me. I do love a bit of low end in my headphones. And when I tested this headphone in mixing, I found that I had too much bass in the mix after checking on speakers. This makes sense since the low end is not as pronounced. It was too much bass in the mix, but I didn't have out of balance low end. Every lower note was in its right place, only overall it was too much. I could easily fix this by applying a low-end shelf EQ and reduce the low end in the mix. In the rest of the mix, the lower to high range and amount of reverb and all actually translated perfectly on speakers, which I found pretty impressive. Now, to counter this lack of low-end presence, I tried a few things and I ended up simply adding a bit of low shelf boost in my RME interface's total mix settings, around 3.5 decibels at 100 Hz. This is not really ideal, but it highly enhanced the accuracy in the low end for me, and it also increased my listening pleasure to music in general. I also tried Sound ID Reference, which didn't have the correct LCD-XC model, only the older one. That model is a huge mismatch with these headphones and don't use it. Now you made it so far in the video, which means that you are a winner and need to subscribe to this channel. This video is made possible by Distrokid. If you need to split the revenue of your releases with multiple collaborators, Distrokid has splits. This enables you to, very simply, split the revenue you make. Add as many collaborators for a release you want and decide how much of the cake they get in percentages. On top of that, you can set recoupments as well, so if you agree on a fixed fee instead of royalties, this is the way to do that. Get 7% off of your first year with Distrokid by using the link in the description. Now, sound is one argument why you might want to check these headphones. The other one is the fact that these are very high quality closed back headphones. The main advantage of closed back is the blocking to an extent of outside sound. So how well do these blocks sound? When you play music on a moderate level on the headphones, these will block outside conversational speech almost entirely. Ideal when you want to block whining kids, your significant other and any other unwanted noise when you want to listen to music. I can even say that the LCD-XC blocks sound enough to replace my earplugs when I play drums. Comfort is also a factor in choosing headphones, and the Audeze LCD-XCs are the heaviest headphones I ever wore. The LCD-XC comes in at 674 grams. For comparison, Allo S4Xs are 326 grams, the Biodynamic DT990 Pro is around 300 grams, and AirPods Pro 2 are 10 grams. If you add the cord, you can easily get over 700 grams, which is about the same as 5 ripe bananas. This weight is pretty serious, especially when you're not used to headphones which weigh quite a bit. After wearing these for a few hours when I got them, I felt I was working out to get a neck like a corpse grinder. It wears quite comfortably though. The earpads have a big over-ear design. When you move your head, you notice them sitting quite loose, and with extreme shakes they can get out of position. The earpads have a nice trapezoidal design which puts the headphone under an angle to your head, but more flush with your ears. The headphones I got come with a nice braided cable which have a 4-pin XLR connector for each ear shell, which terminate in a 6.3mm stereo jack plug. Now be careful with this cable, because if you need to replace it with the same from Audeze, it will set you back a whopping €185, at least here in Europe. The headphones come in this case, which is so sturdy that you can drop it from a plane and I wouldn't be worried that the headphones get damaged. Feels very premium, just as the overall construction of the LCD-XCs. Yeah, overall I really like these headphones and they have been my daily driver ever since I received them, especially with my little EQ fix. But I must say I still grab my biodynamics and Olos on occasion. The Olos being very capable mixing headphones. Find my review on them in the video which is displayed on screen and linked in the description below.